Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Valentine's themed video, starting off by making a chocolate cake in the shape of a heart. I got these moulds, these silicone moulds for my birthday this year. If you watched my what I got for my birthday video, then you will see. I'm also going to be doing some self-care later, so I'm going to be doing a hair mask, face mask, a nice bath, stuff like that. So I thought I would show you guys what I'm doing in preparation for Valentine's Day. So to start off with the cake, I'm using a Dr. Oetker recipe for a chocolate Victoria sponge cake, and this is what you need to make the cake. So firstly, I need a 225 grams of British unsalted butter. I also need 225 grams of caster sugar, which I have in here. 175 grams of self-raising flour, which is this one. We need some cocoa powder, which is in here. 4 medium eggs, and that's what we need for the cake. I'm going to be doing the icing a bit later. So step 1 is to preheat the oven to gas mark for 180 degrees, which is what I've already done. And I need to cream together the butter and the sugar until light and fluffy. So I'm going to start by weighing out my sugar and my butter, maybe melting my butter slightly if I need to. I've just put my butter in the microwave for literally like 10-15 seconds just to soften it slightly, and I'd love to know in the comments below if you're one of the people that tidies up whilst you're baking or whether you do it all at the end, because I tidy up as I go. And then the next step is to gradually beat in the eggs. If the mixture starts to curdle, add a bit of flour. So to make it easier, I'm just going to crack all of the eggs in the bowl that I just quickly had the butter in, so that I can pour them into the bowl. There's a tiny little bit of shell, and there's a hack. If you're trying to get shell out, don't use your fingers or your a spoon. You need to use shell to get shell out. So just going to get that a little bit out, and I'm going to gradually beat the eggs into the bowl. I'm actually also just going to get my flour ready quickly, because as the recipe said, if it starts to curdle then I'll need to add flour. So I'm just going to weigh out my flour. I needed, what was it, 175 grams of self-raising. Added all 4 eggs. I had to add a tiny bit of flour halfway through. It says now to fold in the remaining flour and cocoa powder with a metal spoon. So I'm also just going to weigh my cocoa powder out into a bowl. I need 50 grams of cocoa powder. I'm just going to do it in the same bowl as the flour because it all needs to get sifted in together. mixed it a tiny little bit with the electric whisk. It didn't say to do that in the recipe, but I just think folding's boring. I folded it for so long and I didn't feel like it was incorporating, so I just gave it a quick whisk with the electric whisk. I found it was getting a tiny bit dry, so I added like a splash of milk in. That also doesn't tell you to do that in the recipe, but I did that. I'm going to add some white chocolate chips as well. You can leave it as it is, or you can add in this next step like I'm going to. I just have some in my baking cupboard, so I just thought I would add some in. I'm also making a TikTok of today's cake, so if you want to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok is at Bayleywise. I'm thinking if I do in these, I might have to do a third layer once they're cooked, unless I make another little mini one. I might do some mini ones and some big ones just because these little mini molds are so cute. I'm just going to rinse them under the tap with some soapy water quickly, just because they've been in the packaging. And I also ended up using 2 packets of these just because I had 2 in my baking cupboard. So I've just washed up the moulds. I need to grease them now with some butter. I don't know if you have to grease them or not because they're silicone. I thought it's the whole idea of silicone that they just pop out. I'm not sure, I've never used them, but I am just going to use the remaining knob of butter that I have here just to grease them because I don't want them to get stuck. And also I've never cooked with silicone before, so I am just going to put them on some baking trays as well. I don't know if that makes it easier getting them in and out of the oven. So I'm just roughly greasing. I'm going to try and fill up the big ones as much as possible, and then any left over I can do in these smaller ones. I'm excited to use these moulds. I wonder if the cake, once it's baked, like holds the shape of a heart well, or with some like cookie cutters or like some moulds, when they bake, obviously because they expand, it kind of loses the shape of the cake, but I'm hoping that these look good. I'm just going to... washed everything up, and while I'm waiting for the cakes to bake, they have left about, let me have a look at my timer, 4 minutes left. I'm just going to get the icing ready, so then once the cakes are cooled I can ice straight away. So for icing we need 75 grams of unsalted butter, 175 grams of icing sugar, 45 grams of cocoa powder and whole milk. I'm just going to use the semi-skimmed because that's what I have. So I'm firstly going to weigh out the butter. We need 75 grams. I'm actually going to double the icing recipe because I just remembered that I have the other small cake to ice. So instead of 75 grams of butter, I'm going to need 150 grams. And I think that is dead on what I have. So the 20-minute timer has just gone off for the cakes, but I've just had a look at them through the glass and they still look a little bit wet on the top, so I'm just going to leave them for another few minutes. I've whisked my butter until pale in colour, and I'm now going to weigh out my icing sugar. So I need to double 175 grams, which is 300 grams. The second timer just went off, so I've just taken the cakes out the oven. The ones that were on the top shelf are ready, but the smaller cakes are still in the oven, and I'm just going to stick and it's come out clean, so they are ready. I'm going to put them on cooling racks and let them cool and continue with the buttercream. I've measured out my icing sugar. I'm now going to measure out the cocoa powder, and then what we're going to do is bit by bit add a bit of the, how do we do this, let's have a look. Place the butter in a bowl, gradually sift in and beat the icing sugar, then add enough milk, sift and beat the cocoa powder into the icing. So we're going to do the icing sugar first. Together. I had to add milk, a few dashes of milk, just because it was quite stiff. I'm just going to use the spatula to go around the outside and get all of the last bits together. I'm just getting ready to ice the cakes. They still feel a tiny bit warm, so I'm going to pop them out of the mould. Oh. It's not coming. The chocolate chips all sunk to the bottom and left holes in the cake. That wasn't supposed to happen, but we move on. Same on that one. What am I going to do? I just have to like eat all the chocolate chips. Oh no, it's breaking! Oh my god, it's nearly broken. Okay, oh my god. Nearly snapped in the middle. This is turning out to be a fail. Still smells nice. I wonder why they all sank to the bottom. It's because, I don't know. They're still quite warm, so I'm just going to leave them out of the cases to cool a bit more before I ice them. The silicone cake moulds were really easy to wash out. I ended up eating like quite a lot of the chocolate chips from the bottom, but I'm thinking maybe the reason they all sunk to the bottom is because I mixed them in. I should have just sprinkled the chocolate chips on top of the cake mix once it was in the mould. So lesson learned from next time. But the other side of the cake actually looks okay, so I'm going to use this as the bottom, and then let me just move that over. So this is what the buttercream looks like. I'm just going to whack a bit on. And it's held its shape really well, and then I'm just going to do some icing on the top as well. Shall I? Actually, I'm going to leave the top as it is and just do a dusting of icing sugar, so I'll do that at the end. kind of thing. Because it's breaking in my hands. Oh no! It's breaking! 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. It's wonky. What a broken heart. I'm going to have to ice this one on the top as well because it's cracked. Wow, that was one of them oh no moments. I'm going to stop getting cocky now. So, this was the baking section done. I'll leave the recipe in the description if you guys are interested in trying it. And now I'm going to go upstairs and have a nice relaxing bath. So, I'm just upstairs. I just started running the bath, but then I realised that you couldn't hear me talking. So, I'm just going to show you the bubble bath that I'm going to be using. It's the Body Shop Spiced Apple Foaming Bath. So I'm going to pop that in with some Epsom bath salts. These are lavender scented. I'm going to pop those in now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put a hair mask in my hair. This is the Garnier Ultimate Blends Hair Food. I'm going to put this on dry hair and then use my wet brush that I got for my birthday to comb it in or brush it in, and then I'm just going to leave that for about 10 minutes. And then I'm also going to put on, oh, have I just dropped it? I'm also going to put on a face mask. This is a mini Pixie Glow Mud Mask. I've probably got like one more use left in there. I really like this one. It's like a black purifying mask. So I've just got out of the bath and I'm going to finish off today's video by tanning. This is the tanning mitt that I have. It's double-sided from Boots. I just wash this every now and then in the washing machine. And then my favourite tan is the Bondi Sands Self Tanning Dark Foam. This is the mini version and then this is the larger version. So I'll finish the small one first and then I'll move on to the large one. So this is my favourite tan. I hope you've enjoyed my get ready with me for Valentine's Day. Obviously at the moment restaurants and everything are shut depending where you are in the world. But we're just going to make the most of it. We're probably going to have a nice takeaway or we're going to cook something. But nevertheless, I want to feel nice and look nice. So I'm going to finish off the tan and now I'm going to go downstairs and edit this video and get it out for you as soon as possible. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone on the video? She's angry because she wanted to get in the bath with me because she loves the water. But thanks for watching guys and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!